CD3. 7.1. We can work it out. 1. Conversation A.
I think you should swallow your pride and forgive and forget.
Never! I will not.
You'll have to in the end. You can't ignore each other forever.
I might forgive him, but I can never forget.
It must be possible to talk it over and work something out.
Oh dear. I just don't know what to do for the best.
Conversation B.
What the... Where do you think you're going?
What do you mean?
Well, you can't turn right here.
Who says I can't?
That sign does, mate. No entry. Can't you read?
I couldn't see it, could I?
You should get your eyes tested, you should. You're not fit to be on the roads.
.2. We can work it out. 2. Conversation A.
If I were you, I'd swallow my pride and forgive and forget.
Never! I refuse to!
You'll have no choice in the end. You won't be able to ignore each other forever.
Maybe I'll forgive him, but I'll never be able to forget.
Surely it's possible to talk it over and work something out.
Oh dear. I just don't know what to do for the best.
Conversation B.
What the... Where do you think you're going?
What do you mean?
Well, you're not allowed to turn right here.
Who says it's not allowed?
That sign does, mate. No entry. You ought to be able to read that.
It's impossible to see.
You'd better get your eyes tested, you had. You're not fit to be on the roads.
7.3. The secret.
You won't tell anyone, will you?
Of course I won't.
He mustn't find out. You really can't tell a soul.
Trust me, I'm your brother. I won't say a word, I promise.
But I know you. You're bound to tell someone.
Look, I really can keep a secret, you know. Oh, but is it okay if I tell Claire?
That's fine. She's invited too. Oh, what do you think I should wear?
You're asking the wrong person. But if I were you, I'd buy something new and expensive. It's not every day you give a surprise party for your husband.
7.4. But you promised to.
I don't know if I can play this evening.
But you have to. You promised to.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed to go out on weekday evenings. My parents won't let me, not during my exams.
Why don't you tell them that you're coming over to my house to do some revision?
But somebody might see me playing and tell them. You'd better find somebody else.
There is nobody else. We'll just have to cancel the match.
7.5. Related verbs. 1.
I'll be able to take you to the airport after all.
2.
Is it okay if I make a suggestion?
3.
You're allowed to smoke in the designated area only.
4.
If I were you, I wouldn't wear red. It doesn't suit you.
5.
You are required to obtain a visa to work in Australia.
6.
It's always a good idea to make an appointment.
7.
You're bound to pass, don't worry.
8.
You aren't permitted to walk on the grass.
9.
I didn't manage to get through. The line was engaged.
10.
I refuse to discuss the matter any further.
7.6. Signs. 1.
Children have got to have an adult with them all the time.
2.
You don't have to show ID to vote here.
3.
Only people who are using the gym can park here.
4.
If you can't come to your appointment, you should ring and cancel it.
5.
Visitors can use this car park, but they're not allowed to park overnight.
6.
If there's a fire, everyone should gather here.
7.
You don't have to pay to enter on Sundays.
7.7. An exciting phone call.
Isabel, hi. You've got to talk to me about what? Yes, I can. I remember you doing it in the coffee bar. It was the one in the Daily Sun, wasn't it? Didn't you have to identify loads of states in the US? Never! I don't believe it! What's the prize? You've won what? You must be kidding. That's brilliant! For how long? You're staying where? The Ritz-Carlton? I'm impressed. Doesn't that overlook Central Park? I thought so. Not that I've been there, of course. What do you mean? How would I ever be able to? What? You can't be serious. You know I'd love to, but why me? Surely you should be taking David. You've done what? When? I didn't know. Well, what can I say? How could I possibly refuse an offer like that? I certainly will.
7.8. An exciting phone call.
Isabel, hi.
Rick, I've got to talk to you.
You've got to talk to me about what?
Well, can you remember that competition I entered, just for a laugh, a few weeks ago?
Yes, I can. I remember you doing it in the coffee bar. It was the one in the Daily Sun, wasn't it? Didn't you have to identify loads of states in the US?
Yeah, that's it. You've got it. Well, get this. I've won! I came first!
Never! I don't believe it! What's the prize?
I've won a trip to New York!
You've won what? You must be kidding. That's brilliant! For how long?
Just 4 days, but I'll be staying in the Ritz-Carlton of all places.
You're staying where? The Ritz-Carlton? I'm impressed. Doesn't that overlook Central Park?
Yes, it does.
I thought so. Not that I've been there, of course.
Well, you can now.
What do you mean? How would I ever be able to?
Well, it's a trip for 2, and I'd really love it if you would come with me. Will you?
What? You can't be serious. You know I'd love to, but why me? Surely you should be taking David.
Haven't you heard? David and I have split up.
You've done what? When? I didn't know.
Well, it was a couple of weeks ago. We haven't been getting on well for ages.
Well, what can I say? How could I possibly refuse an offer like that?
You'll come then?
I certainly will.
7.9. Echo questions. 1.
My mum and dad went to Alaska on holiday.
They went where?
2.
I got home at 5 this morning.
You got home at what time?
3.
Laura paid €300 for a pair of jeans.
She paid how much?
4.
I saw the president while I was out shopping.
You saw who?
5.
He invited me to the palace for a drink.
He did what?
7.10. BBC World Service. The Conversation. Matchmakers.
Hello and welcome to The Conversation. Today, we are talking about love with two matchmakers. In an age where meeting the love of your life is a matter of logging on, the notion of paying someone to help you find love may seem a little antiquated. Not so, say my guests, who have brought together many couples over the years. My first guest is Eliza Ben Shalom. She's based in Philadelphia in the United States. Eliza, welcome.
Hi, Kim. Thank you.
My other guest, Geeta Khanna, describes her role as that of a professional matchmaker, and she's based in New Delhi. Geeta, hello.
Hello. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Now, let's get started.
7.11.
Well, let's talk about how it works, Eliza. So I come to you, and then what happens? How does it work?
I would call myself a do-it-yourself matchmaker. My goal is actually to teach you almost to be your own matchmaker. A lot of people go into dating, and I've heard this too many times, where like, I'm just going to be me, and if they don't like who I am, then that's fine. They don't have to like me. I said, would you walk into a job interview like that, or would you put your best foot forward and try to show your best self, right?
And how different is this to how you approach things, Geeta?
I encourage my clients to actually be who they really are. But I also tell them that it's not a job interview. So when you go to meet someone, be natural. And I also encourage them not to ask typical questions as if...
What's a typical question?
A typical question is, okay, where did you study? Where did you do your education? They've already been through their written profile.
I would also say that instead of saying, what do you do? I like, why did you choose this field? Why? What do you love about what you do?
Well, so the fact that you both seem to coach your clients a little bit ahead of their dates, does that, again, not run the risk of them not being themselves? Eliza?
But there are people that are very shy, reserved, introverted. They have a hard time sitting there on a date. They don't know what to say or how to hold a conversation. So we do have to have conversations about conversations and how to navigate going through the dating process.
There's a slight difference in the way Eliza and I work this out, because all my clients, actually, I do know personally, in the sense that I have met them. I don't know, Eliza, do you know all your clients, or have you met them?
I don't always work with both sides. Sometimes I can, and sometimes people are doing it on their own.
Geeta, you mentioned the moment the magic happens, but that magic does come at a price. How much do you charge for your services?
Am I supposed to say this on radio?
Yes, please give us an idea of how it works and how much you charge, roughly.
Okay, so when clients come to me and want to register with my consultancy, there's a charge of about $800 US. And then if a match converts into a marriage, then I charge what is called a success fee, which is about $5,500.
So that's a lot of money.
It's not so unusual in the matchmaking world. It's actually very...
Oh, there you go.
That's a very nice rate.
But Geeta, very few people can afford those prices, though.
Yes, that's right.
Eliza, I want to come to you. How much are you charging?
So I work as a coach, and when I work with somebody, it's $150 an hour. But if I do make a match, then it's a success fee of $2,000.
Well, I have to say, just listening to you talk about the different rates across the market, I do feel a little bit uneasy.
How expensive is divorce?
Geeta, your husband, how did you meet him?
Well, mine was a completely arranged setup. My mother sold me over a game of cards.
Okay.
She was playing mahjong with a friend of hers, and she was talking to her and telling her, I have a daughter and she needs to be married. And I was all of 20. This other lady said, my sister has a son, and, they're looking out for a girl for him. And so why don't we get the kids to meet? Mm-hmm. We met. And 3 weeks later to the day, we were married.
Wow.
So we went out about 3 times. We didn't date. We just went out. And he proposed to me. And he said, I think we should get married. And I agreed. I think at the age of 20, you don't know much more. But I have to say that it was probably the best decision of my life, because we grew up together. You know, we grew up together. We went through all our trials and tribulations together. We supported each other through everything. And I think getting married early, for me at least, was a big blessing.
I'd like to know a little bit more about your clients. What is sort of the gender balance there? Is it mainly women who come to you? Is it mainly men?
It's so interesting. In the beginning of my business, I would say that more women came. So I think it started out probably 75% women, 25% men. And I would say now we're maybe at 60% women, 40% men. And that number for men keeps rising.
Geeta, who are your clients?
My clients really range between the ages of, say, 22 to 50. They're mainly single men and women who've never been married.
Okay, Elisa, what's been your experience of people's expectations and how has that changed over the years?
I think the largest expectation is that something should happen now. We live in a generation where everything is instant. If your internet takes more than 5 seconds to load, you get annoyed and you're frustrated. So I think one of the biggest challenges today is reminding people that relationships take time. It's not so easy to find the one.
You talk about the one. Geeta, I want to hear from you. This concept of a single person, the one, a soulmate. What do you make of it?
You know, it's hard enough, I tell you, it's hard enough to live with one person than to imagine that there could be, you know, so many out there.
I guess it just comes back down to what we were discussing earlier about the pressure that comes with trying to find that perfect match.
I think we just put undue pressure on ourselves. It's really quite simple, Kim.
Is it?
Know, it's. I think it is, and I think we should keep it simple, because the one thing that I always tell people is you should look out for two things. One is a sense of humor, and one is a certain amount of chemistry. And when I say chemistry, it's not this huge feeling that you're already in love or something. It's just chemistry of being on the same page, of understanding when the other person is saying something.
Elisa and Geeta, thank you so much.
7.12. Phrasal verbs with get. 1.
If news of this gets out, there'll be a huge scandal.
You always get out of doing the washing up. It's not fair.
I'm in a hurry. Get out of the way.
2.
You're always getting at me. Leave me alone.
What are you getting at? Just say what you mean.
I can't get at the sugar. It's on the top shelf.
3.
It took him ages to get over the operation.
He couldn't get his point over to the audience. They didn't understand.
I can't get over how much your children have grown.
4.
We got up to page 56 in the last lesson.
That man is getting up to no good. I think he's a thief.
I had to get up at 5 a.m. to catch the plane.
5.
I couldn't get through to Joe. His phone was switched off.
I failed, but Bob got through his driving test first time.
We got through loads of money on our holiday.
6.
She can always get round her dad. She gets exactly what she wants.
Sorry, I haven't got round to answering your email yet.
I can't see how we get round this problem. It's really difficult.
7.13. Exaggeration and understatement. 1.
They are obviously madly in love.
Yeah, they do seem to get on quite well.
2.
I think Tony was a bit rude last night.
You're not kidding. He was totally out of order.
3.
His family are pretty well off, aren't they?
You can say that again. They're absolutely loaded.
4.
I can't stand the sight of him.
I must admit, I'm not too keen on him either.
5.
I'm knackered. Can we stop for a rest?
Okay, I feel a bit out of breath too.
6.
I'm absolutely dying for a drink.
Yes, my throat's a bit dry, I must say.
7.
She isn't very bright, is she?
Too right. She's as thick as 2 short planks.
8.
I bet you hit the roof when she crashed your car.
Well, yes, I was a bit upset.
9.
I'm fed up with this weather. Oh, it's freezing.
I suppose it is a bit chilly.
10.
Well, that was a fantastic holiday.
Yes, it was a nice little break.
7.14. Absolutely fabulous. 1.
These shoes are rather nice, aren't they?
They're absolutely fabulous. I want them.
2.
Is that a new watch? I bet that cost a bit.
A bit? It cost a fortune.
3.
It's a bit chilly in here, don't you think?
You can say that again. I'm absolutely freezing.
4.
Can we stop at the next service station? I could do with something to eat.
Me too. I'm starving. I didn't have any breakfast this morning.
5.
I think those two like each other, don't you?
Like's the wrong word. They're obviously crazy about each other.
6.
I bet you were a bit upset when your team lost.
Me? Upset? I only cried myself to sleep.
8.1. The African Iceman.
February the 15th, 2018 was the day when 32-year-old Akwasi Frimpong from Ghana entered history. Sprinting alongside a tiny sled, jumping onto it face first, and hurtling down an ice track at 100 kilometres an hour, he became the first African to compete in the Olympic skeleton.
From Africa to Europe.
Born in 1986, Akwasi was brought up by his grandmother in Kumasi, Ghana, in a 4-square-metre room which housed a family of 10. Aged 8, he joined his mother, who had moved to the Netherlands. He loved sport and was a talented sprinter, becoming the Dutch junior 200-metre champion at the age of 17. However, he never travelled to competitions abroad. Akwasi, whose coaches believed he'd lost his passport, had a secret. His paperwork hadn't been processed, so he was an illegal immigrant and wouldn't have been allowed back into the Netherlands.
From sprinting to skeleton.
In 2008, he finally got his Dutch passport and trained for the 2012 London Olympics, but injury ended his sprinting ambitions. He changed sport and trained in bobsled, an event in which a quick sprint start is essential. But after failing to get into the 2014 Winter Olympic team, he decided to give up competitive sport altogether. However, his wife, Erica, told him she didn't want him forever moaning about his lost Olympic dreams. So Akwasi changed sport again, this time to skeleton racing. He loved it and set his heart on competing in the 2018 Olympics in South Korea, but not for the Netherlands, for his birth country, Ghana.
Back to Africa.
Aged 31, for the first time in 23 years, Akwasi returned to Ghana, where he set up the improbable-sounding Bobsled and Skeleton Federation Ghana. In a country with no snow or ice, he introduced his fellow Ghanaians to winter sports, using a wooden board with wheels. Back in the Netherlands, he trained for the Olympics with money earned by selling vacuum cleaners door to door, and just managed to qualify for South Korea, entering the top 60 in the world.
Success, of a sort.
If life was a Hollywood movie, Akwasi would have won Olympic gold. But of course, he had no chance against his competitors, some of whom had been training for years. He came last. That is okay, he said. For me, being at the Winter Olympics is about breaking barriers, to show black people from warm countries can do this as well. He now hopes to win his first Olympic gold medal for Ghana in the 2022 Winter Games, which will be held in Beijing.
8.2 Punctuation and Pronunciation 1.
The area of London I like best is Soho.
2.
My father, who's a doctor, plays the drums.
3.
The book that I'm reading at the moment is great.
4.
Ed passed his driving test first time, which surprised me.
5.
People who eat too much sugar risk getting diabetes.
6.
I met a man whose aim in life was to visit every capital city in the world.
7.
The Channel Tunnel, which opened in 1995, is a great way to get from England to France.
8.
A short, bald man seen running away from the scene of the crime is being sought by the police.
8.3 Proverbs 1.
Oh, Evie's kids are a nightmare to have round. They're so badly behaved.
Yours are not exactly angels, Sophie. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
2.
They say smoking's bad for you, but my granddad smoked till he was 98.
But it's the exception that proves the rule.
3.
Oh, it's such a lovely day. Cleaning out the garage can wait.
But it's also a good day to do it. Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today.
4.
Oh, it's nearly time for you to leave. The day's gone so quickly.
Yes, well, time flies when you're having fun.
5.
Lucas got me a diamond ring from an antique shop. It looks gorgeous, but it turns out it's a fake.
Ha! A classic case of all that glitters is not gold.
6.
Life's great in New Zealand, but I still really miss my little flat in the UK sometimes.
Well, home is where the heart is.
7.
How will you manage on your pension when you retire?
I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
8.
It was such a nightmare buying this house and trying to sell our old one.
Yes, but you're so happy here now. All's well that ends well.
8.4 Present and Past Participles 1.
It's raining again.
Oh no, another miserable day when we're stuck indoors.
2.
You look so chilled. It was obviously a good holiday.
Yes, we just sat by the pool and read books for a week. Bliss.
3.
Have you heard? Kevin's left his job and gone to travel around India.
No. Kevin? Ever so careful stay-at-home Kevin? That's incredible. I don't believe it.
4.
Come on in, you must be shattered.
Oh, I am. I've been travelling for the past 36 hours, and I've hardly slept a wink.
5.
What's that noise I can hear?
Oh, it's my neighbour, playing loud music in the garden. He's such a pain. Never thinks of others.
6.
What's wrong? Are you not enjoying this?
Oh, yet another crime drama. And everything is happening so slowly in this one.
7.
I saw you looking very uncomfortable talking to that woman over there. What happened?
Oh, it was horrendous. I asked her when her baby was due, and she said she wasn't pregnant.
8.5. Adding more detail.
A cool young man, lost in thought, was walking slowly down the busy street, listening to music and humming to himself.
8.6. Adding more detail. 1.
A beautiful, long-haired blonde girl, wearing a fashionable polka-dot bikini and leather sandals, was sunbathing sleepily on the wide, white, crowded, sandy Caribbean beach.
2.
A huge, bald, angry-looking policeman came running into the crowded room, brandishing a gun.
3.
A tall, slim teenage boy wearing an orange tracksuit and red baseball cap stole a black leather wallet from a bespectacled old man sitting at the back of a red double-decker London bus yesterday afternoon.
4.
The once famous aging American comedy actor Kirk Branson was seen entertaining a glamorous young brunette girl yesterday evening in an exclusive Michelin star Paris restaurant frequented by countless international celebrities.
5.
The long-awaited sales and marketing conference, held in a small town on the border of the snowy Austrian Alps, was a huge success, attended enthusiastically by all the members of staff of the multinational Swiss drug company Parasol.
8.7. Helena.
Well, it was when I was living in Cairo, and it was in the middle of the summer, so it was extremely hot, between 40 and 45 degrees centigrade. And stupidly, we decided to go dancing, and we went to this nightclub, and we must have danced for hours and hours, and it was very hot inside the nightclub, and we were sweating profusely. And by the time we came out, it was about 5 o'clock in the morning, and we decided, wouldn't it be a great idea to go to the pyramids to see the sunrise? So we jumped in a taxi, and the taxi was also quite stuffy and hot, and we must have been starting to dehydrate at this point. Anyway, we got to the pyramids, and the sun was just starting to come up, and in Egypt, as soon as the sun comes up, the temperature rises dramatically. But we were so excited at seeing the pyramids that we decided just to go and walk and see. At this point, a man approached us and asked us if we wanted to borrow his motorbike or hire his motorbike. And so we said yes. So my friend and I, we jumped onto the motorbike and raced out into the desert, only to find, after about 10-15 minutes, that the motorbike was rather old, and suddenly it broke down. So we were miles from anywhere and had to push this motorbike to get back. I was the one at the back pushing the motorbike, and of course I was using lots of energy. I was losing a lot of fluid, and it was getting hotter and hotter. Anyway, we ended up having to walk back to the village to give the motorbike back to the man. And by this time, we were rather fed up and tired and very hot, so we decided to go home. By the time we got home, I did start to feel a bit strange. I had a bit of a headache, and I decided to go straight to bed. Anyway, I woke up about half an hour later, feeling rather confused and sick, a bit nauseous, and I realised that my brain wasn't working properly, and that in fact I probably had heat exhaustion. Anyway, it wasn't very pleasant, and it was a lesson in what not to do in such temperatures. I've never done that again. I always carry my rehydration salts with me.
8.8. Abby.
The time that I was very, very cold was a time when I was working in Russia, in a small town in central Russia, and I was going to see some friends who lived on the outskirts of the town, and they were worried about me getting lost, and they said that they'd come to the tram stop to meet me. But I wanted to be independent, so I told them, don't be silly, of course I'll find it. And on the day of the visit, it was very, very cold. It might have been -30, but it might have been colder than that. And it was so cold that at some of the tram stops and bus stops there were bonfires lit, special street fires, to keep people warm. And I think it was a day when the schools were closed, when the children didn't go to school because it was so cold. So I put on all the clothes that I had, all the scarves and jumpers, and I took the tram to the outskirts of the town where my friends lived. And it was right way out to the end of the line. And I got off the tram, which was heated, into this cold, white world. And it was so cold that when you breathed in, little balls of ice formed in your nostrils. You had to keep a scarf over your mouth and nose. About 2 minutes after getting off the tram, my feet and hands were already hurting. They were so cold. So I was walking around trying to find the flat, but it was completely anonymous, this landscape. And there were these huge snow-covered white blocks, these buildings of 15 or 16 floors, but they all looked exactly the same, and I couldn't find the name of the street either. And it was very, very quiet, and the tram had gone. And I began actually to get very frightened because I was feeling so cold. My feet and hands had gone beyond hurting, almost. I couldn't feel them anymore. It was quite difficult to breathe because of the icy scarf over my mouth and nose. And I just couldn't find where they lived. And I asked an old lady the way, but my Russian wasn't good enough. She didn't understand me. And I was beginning to really seriously panic when suddenly in the distance I saw my friends. They'd come to find me, and they took me home.
8.9. 1.
It was over 40 degrees Celsius and we went dancing, which was rather a stupid thing to do.
2.
We visited the pyramids at sunrise, which was just amazing.
3.
The motorbike broke down in the desert, which was no laughing matter.
4.
My friends were worried I'd get lost, which was understandable.
5.
My nostrils actually froze, which was very painful.
6.
The old lady couldn't understand me, which is hardly surprising with my Russian.
8.10. Extreme adjectives. 1.
Shall I turn the heating down? It's very hot in here.
Please do. I'm absolutely boiling.
2.
It's silly having to use all these passwords for everything, isn't it?
Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous. How are you supposed to remember them all?
3.
Cara looks lovely, doesn't she? What a beautiful dress.
Oh, wow. She looks absolutely stunning.
4.
Dan tells such good jokes. He's very funny, isn't he?
Oh, yes. He's absolutely hilarious sometimes.
5.
I'll cook some lunch if you're hungry.
Hungry? You bet. I didn't have breakfast, so I'm absolutely starving.
6.
Was Lisa upset when she heard the bad news?
Oh, she was absolutely devastated.
8.11. Quite. 1. A.
He's quite nice.
B.
He's quite nice.
2. A.
She's quite clever.
B.
She's quite clever.
8.12. 1. A.
That book was quite interesting. You should read it.
B.
That book was quite interesting, but I wouldn't really recommend it.
2. A.
I'm quite tired. Shall we stop playing?
B.
I'm quite tired, but I could play one more game.
8.13. A night at the Oscars.
Well, I certainly know how heartbreaking it is to lose out on these awards, so I'm absolutely thrilled and amazed to finally receive one. I am so grateful to all the wonderful people who voted for me. It's a huge honor to be named Best Actor and for Riviera Rose to win Best Film. We were all absolutely exhausted at the end of shooting, but we knew we'd made a fantastic film. I guess none of us imagined it would be such an enormous success, though. Okay, I know it's awful to have to listen to long lists of thank yous, but I have to say something about some of the brilliant people involved. So, special thanks to writer Claire Baxter for creating fascinating characters and an absolutely hilarious script. To Michael Davis for his excellent direction. And to Barry Kenwood for his truly stunning cinematography. And last but not least, thank you to my gorgeous wife for her support. I love you, Kayla, and I love you all.
8.14. 1.
My sister has just given birth to twins.
2.
Let's go away for the weekend. It's been ages since we've had a break.
3.
I failed my driving test. The examiner said turn left and I turned right.
4.
More than 20 people were injured in the motorway pile-up this morning.
5.
Look at the state of this room. Have you ever seen anywhere so untidy?
6.
Look, it's raining again.
7.
I wanted to ring the phone company to complain, but there's no contact number for them anywhere.
8.
Our dog went missing for 3 days, but then she turned up looking absolutely fine.
9.
Jason told me that my hair looked worse after I'd had it cut.
10.
The shop assistant said it was normal for washing machines to break down after a year.
8.15. Sounds.
Oops!
Phew.
Yuck!
Oh! Duh! Ouch!
Wow!
Eh?
Ha ha.
8.16. Listen and reply. 1.
How's your chicken curry? Is it okay?
2.
After all that training, my marathon was cancelled because of the snow.
3.
I bumped into an old school friend when I was on holiday in Peru.
4.
Mind your head going through that door. Oh, too late.
5.
Why isn't this coffee machine working this morning?
6.
Could you pour me some more wine?
7.
Did you know they eat horse meat in some countries? And snails? And pig's feet?
8.
It looks a bit like a zebra crossing, that black and white dress. Make sure people don't walk over you.
9.
I got the tests back from the hospital. Everything's fine.
10.
Why is there grubby old recycling bin in here?
8.17. Listen and check. 1.
How's your chicken curry? Is it okay?
It's absolutely delicious. Just the way I like it. Spicy, but not too hot.
2.
After all that training, my marathon was cancelled because of the snow.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What a shame. You must be so disappointed.
3.
I bumped into an old school friend when I was on holiday in Peru.
Wow, how amazing. What are the chances of that happening?
4.
Mind your head going through that door. Oh, too late.
Ouch, that really hurt. It's a pain being tall sometimes.
5.
Why isn't this coffee machine working this morning?
You forgot to plug it in. They do work better with electricity.
6.
Could you pour me some more wine?
Oops, I've spilt it. Sorry about that. At least it's white and not red.
7.
Did you know they eat horse meat in some countries? And snails? And pig's feet?
Yuck, that's disgusting. You wouldn't catch me eating any of those.
8.
It looks a bit like a zebra crossing, that black and white dress. Make sure people don't walk over you.
Ha ha, very funny. You really should get a job as a comedian.
9.
I got the tests back from the hospital. Everything's fine.
Phew! What a relief! It must be a weight off your shoulders.
10.
Why is there grubby old recycling bin in here?
Eh? What did you say? Don't talk with your mouth full.
9.1. Friends forever.
Hi, Tazy, or Anastasia. It's great to be in touch again. The wonder of social media, sometimes. How could anybody forget a name like yours? Crazy Tazy Jones. And now you're a Peabody. You and I were friends from the start. We used to sit next to each other in class, but then the teachers made us sit apart because we were always giggling and whispering. Do you remember how we would go back to your house after school and listen to music for hours on end? CDs in those days. We both loved Oasis, but we'd argue endlessly about who was better, Liam or Noel. Oh, and we also used to listen to the Spice Girls, but in secret, because they were so uncool. Then there was that time we painted your bike bright pink. Then we'd go cycling round town on it, and we would never wear our helmets. Your dad was furious, but we didn't care. I meet up with Polly and Tina from time to time. They're both married with kids, and like us, balancing work and home life. Polly's the same as ever, a rotten timekeeper. She'll always arrive late and rush in, full of apologies. It would be so great if you could join us. In the meantime, keep on keeping in touch. It's great to catch up. Love, Nikki. P.S. I can't get used to calling you Anastasia Peabody. To me, you'll always be Crazy Tazy Jones.
9.2. Listen and repeat. 1,
We used to sit next to each other.
2,
We were always giggling and whispering.
3,
We'd go back to your house.
4,
We'd go cycling round town.
5,
I can't get used to calling you Anastasia.
6,
She'll always arrive late.
9.3. What are they like? 1,
My flatmate is the untidiest person in the whole world. She's always leaving her things around the place and her room looks like a rubbish dump.
2,
My boyfriend is insanely jealous. He'll lose his temper if he sees me just talking to any other guy.
3,
Freddie is just the coolest guy I know. He wears a cap and sunglasses all the time, even in the house. Mum says he's just silly.
4,
My dog Bruno was my best friend. We used to go everywhere together. He'd even sleep by my bed.
5,
Your problem is you're self-obsessed. You're always talking about yourself, and you'll walk away if the subject moves to someone else.
6,
My mum really gets on my nerves. She's always criticising me and my friends.
7,
But my grandma was so sweet. She would always stand up for me when Mum got angry. She used to say, "You're only young once."
8,
My grandpa hated all modern technology. He'd say it was all too complicated for him, and he wouldn't use the iPad we bought him. He just used to watch his old TV.
9.4. When I was a boy.
When I was a boy, we lived in a village in the heart of the countryside, and I used to like going for long walks, especially in summer. I'd get up early in the morning without waking my parents. We used to have a dog called Bob, and he and I would creep out of the house and down the lane. Bob and I would climb the hills together while the rest of the world was sleeping. Once I walked for nearly 20 miles and my parents got very worried. I used to love those days, so innocent, so carefree. I went back there last year, but it wasn't the same.
9.5. Getting used to. 1,
You don't like your new teacher, do you?
Not a lot, but we're getting used to her. She's not so bad.
2,
How can you get up at 5 o'clock every morning?
No problem. I'm used to it now. I've been doing it for years.
3,
How come you know New York so well?
I used to live there. I used to work in downtown Manhattan.
4,
How are you finding your new job?
Difficult, but I'm getting used to it bit by bit. It's challenging, but I like it.
5,
Do you still have any CDs?
No, I used to have loads, but not anymore. I stream all my music.
6,
Do you get on well with your sister?
Well, we didn't used to, but now we're really close. We tell each other everything.
7,
You two argue so much. How can you live together?
After 20 years, we're used to each other. It's just the way we are. Every marriage is different.
9.6. Me and my parents. 1, Catherine.
I have very fond memories of my childhood.
To me, it represented security. We used to do a lot together as a family. I remember going on walks and having picnics and going for car rides on a Sunday afternoon. Every Friday when my dad came home, he'd bring us each a treat, usually just something little. Once he bought me a necklace with a heart. Just cheap. But I loved it. My mother used to say he was spoiling us. But why not? He loved us.
2. Michael.
It was my dad who used to drive me mad. He was always telling me to have my hair cut and dress more smartly. My mum was much more lenient. She never really minded how I dressed. But she would get angry when I picked up food before she'd put it on the table. "Get your hands off," she'd say. But I was always so hungry. I had such a big appetite for such a small, weedy child. Then when I was 16, I suddenly shot up. I'm 6'5" now.
3. Johnny.
My mum was always nagging me, telling me to get off the computer, turn off the TV, pick up my things, do my homework. She'd keep on, and then she'd be all put out when I'd shut myself away in my room. I just needed some peace and quiet each day. She just didn't realise how hard it was for me at school. You see, I was bullied and I never told Mum and Dad. We didn't talk much in our family. My wife is always asking me questions about my childhood, but I won't talk about it.
4. Gillian.
I got on very well with my mother. She was my best friend. Still is. We had to get on, really. You see, my dad left when I was 3. I used to tell her everything. Well, nearly everything. And she talked to me very openly too. Sometimes she'd say to me, "Don't go to school today. Stay with me." And we'd go out shopping or something like that. It's a wonder I had any education at all, the number of days I missed from school.
9.7. An early memory of school.
Some of my clearest and earliest memories are of my first school. So I'd like to share a memory about that. A memory that still upsets me after all these years. I was 5 years old and had just started school. It was quite a long way from my house and there were no school buses, so I had to walk. My sister, who's 11 years older than me, went to the big school, which was next to mine, so my mum sometimes asked her to take me to school. She was not keen to do this. She had no time for a small, irritating sister dragging along behind her. She liked to meet up with her cool friends. And what's more, because her school day started later than mine, she was happy to dawdle and chat. She refused to hurry to get me there on time. I was always an anxious child, and I would tug at her sleeve and fret about being late. She'd just shake me off. Anyway, one day was particularly bad. It was pouring with rain, and we splashed through puddles as we walked. And my sister was moaning all the time about how the rain was ruining her hair because she was hoping to meet a certain boy on the way. On that day, he didn't materialise, and this put her in a very bad mood. I was wearing my new red welly boots, and they were really difficult to pull on and off. I was full of fear Miss Marks, my teacher, would kill me if I was late again. Finally, we got there, and my sister ran off, leaving me to cope with the wellies. The cloakroom was empty, and I sat tearfully on the bench, tugging at the wretched boots. I put on my indoor shoes and crept into the back of the classroom. I was very late and very scared. The other kids were making mosaic pictures with lots of different coloured bits of sticky paper. I'd been so looking forward to doing this. Art was my best subject. I'd planned to do a beautiful portrait of my black and white cat. Miss Marks called across the room, "Elizabeth, late again." I hung my head. "You'll just have to sit in the corner and do a jigsaw." So I did, silently weeping and cursing my sister. I never did make that picture of my cat. To this day, my sister insists she can't remember anything about this. However, I believe it's the reason I have such a problem with lateness. I always arrive on time.
9.8. A teacher to remember. 1. Sean.
Funnily enough, the teacher I'll never forget is my Latin and Greek teacher. You may think they're dry subjects, dead languages, but Mr. Lang, the teacher, somehow used to make these dead languages seem dead easy. He looked the part. He was kind of traditional looking, quite formal and serious. He'd always wear a dark green or dark brown suit, and he had a long black moustache. He'd been at the school over 20 years, so he must have been in his 50s, I suppose. You'd think that everything about him was boring and serious, because he never smiled or laughed, never. But somehow he was clear, interesting and entertaining. There were jokes hidden in his words if you listened carefully. And we all did. He had a razor-sharp wit. Oh, I passed my exams, but didn't study Latin or Greek at university, but I did study philosophy, and that was a direct result of learning about the great philosophers, Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato, from Mr. Lang.
2. Samantha.
My most memorable teacher. I think that would be Mrs. Chapman. I was about 13 or 14, and she was our English and drama teacher. She was short and a bit plump, dumpy in fact, with mousy brown hair. She looked like everybody's kind, middle-aged auntie, but she wasn't very kind. She had a big, loud voice, and she used to like to get us to act out the plays we were studying. And she'd shout, speak up, and think about the meaning of the words." But what I remember most about her is her ruler. She had this wooden ruler, and if anyone was looking sleepy or bored, she'd poke them on the shoulder with this ruler and shout, "Wake up, girl!" or boy. Then one day she spotted someone asleep, fast asleep and snoring at the back of the class. Mrs. Chapman was so furious. She slammed the ruler down on his desk and it broke in half. We were all scared stiff. She didn't throw the ruler away. After that, it was even sharper when she poked you in the back. Maybe her lessons helped me though. I'm a barrister now, and when I have to speak in court, Mrs. Chapman's words ring in my ear. Speak up, speak clearly, girl.
3. Rupert.
I don't think I ever had a favourite teacher, but I had a least favourite teacher, and weirdly, he was probably the most successful teacher I ever had. You see, when I was at primary school, I was really good at maths. I could do it all. But when I went to secondary school, I had a succession of dismal maths teachers, and by the time I took my exams at 16, I was absolutely hopeless. I failed miserably. And I needed to pass maths to get into university, so I had to retake it. This time with a very different teacher, Mr. Biggs. He was very sarcastic, and it seemed to be his mission in life to embarrass his students, and me particularly, because I'd joined the class to do a resit. He was always getting me out to the front of the class to do sums on the board, and he'd sneer if I got it wrong, which was most of the time. I hated him with a passion, but actually, his explanations were crystal clear, and gradually, over the year, I improved. I got a really good pass in the end and got into a good university. I have no idea how old he was, just old. But when you're 16, 35 seems old. I'd say he was probably in his late 30s and big like his name, with a huge booming voice.
4. Charlotte.
Well, one teacher I'll never forget is Miss Wilkinson. She taught chemistry and biology. I didn't like her subjects much, probably because I wasn't much good at them. She seemed old to me, but she was probably just in her early 30s, and kind of tall and gangly. She drove this ancient Mini, and she always seemed too big for it. She had to crouch over the steering wheel. Anyway, the reason I remember her so well is because I think she fell for my dad. Really? You see, he'd sometimes collect me from school, and one day, there she was in her Mini, and she couldn't get it to start. So, of course, my dad, being the lovely gentleman he was, helped her. Miss Wilkinson was glowing with gratitude. "Oh, thank you, Mr. Wilson. So kind, so kind." She went all weak and wobbly, not at all like she was when she was yelling at us in class. And then every time he came to collect me after that, somehow Miss Wilkinson would appear, and she was always asking me about him. "How's your kind father, Charlotte?" "Just fine, Miss Wilkinson. He and my mum are going to Paris this weekend." I just made that up to see her reaction. My friends and I used to giggle about it. When I mentioned it to my dad, he just laughed and said, "Oh, don't be silly, Charlotte. Nobody would fancy an old bore like me." But my mum raised an eyebrow.
9.9. Write the word you hear. 1,
Where?
2,
Nose.
3,
Wood.
4,
War.
5.
Through.
9.10. Homonyms. 1,
Grandma's leaving now. Come and wave goodbye.
He was swept out to sea by a freak wave, but he survived.
2,
Oh dear, we have a flat tyre and no spare wheel.
I'm renting a flat near where I work.
3,
What's today's date?
The 3rd.
I've got a date tonight. I'm going out with Carl.
4,
He goes to the gym every day. He's very fit.
The trousers are too small. They don't fit you at all.
5,
It's not fair. Everyone else is allowed to stay out till midnight.
She has beautiful fair hair and blue eyes.
9.11. Children's jokes. 1,
Why will you never starve in the desert? Because of the sandwiches there.
2,
Why is Sunday the strongest day? Because the others are weekdays.
3,
Your battery's flat. That's why your car won't start.
Oh dear, what shape should it be?
4,
Waiter, what's wrong with this egg?
Don't ask me, sir. I only laid the table.
5,
What do you get when 5,000 strawberries try to go through a door at the same time?
I don't know. What do you get?
Strawberry jam.
6,
Oh, waiter, this food tastes funny.
So, why aren't you laughing?
7.
What do you give to a sick lemon? Lemonade!
8.
What did one toilet say to the other? You look a bit flushed.
9.
Why can't Cinderella play soccer? Because she's always running away from the ball.